Hey guys, we're live on the moon, and I'm doing some more experiments with this camera, and um, I'm doing a test where I could put my mouse on the screen. Oops, I saw something blip there, and I'm doing it right now at 4 frames a second. I hope you guys are doing well. I've been working on this camera of mine most of the evening, doing different experiments. Uh, by the way, I did change the date timestamp to the lower left corner of the screen, and I made it just a dab bit bigger. I'm not sure that this is going to be the final end job on this, but I kind of like the idea of being able to go to the screen with a a pointer. So we'll see. We're just doing some experiments, and you are guinea pigs. What I want to do is I want to slowly, this is a 25 millimeter lens, and I'll go over here to the shadow line and just kind of stop. And I'll increase it just a little bit, like that. And I'll try to manually focus it right now. And now I'm going to try the autofocus. And you can see it going in and out. I think I'll leave it on manual focus for right now because of the fact that it's up against the blackness of space. I'm trying to do these tests in a methodical way. What I want to do now, before I start this survey, I want to go and change uh, the color intensity up. Just a little bit. See what it does. And if I go to the right, let's see if it made any difference. It's a challenge to do this for you at 1080p. Let me restore the defaults. I think I'll just leave it like it is. Right now I'm sitting at 4 and 5 frames a second, which should be adequate. And again, I'm doing it a screen capture, so it should be interesting to see if this works. Now it's on auto, so it's going to automatically adjust as I go down. There's our famous crater starting to show itself. Now let's see if I can turn the contrast down just a little bit. Yeah, I turned it down too much, and it's me turn the brightness down just a little bit. See, I had some squigglies there. You're guinea pigs, guys. You're guinea pigs. Let me turn the autofocus on now. And you'll see it come, see it jumping in and out of focus. Yeah, I just don't like that, so I'm going to leave autofocus off for right now. And let me try to turn the bright. Let me do this. Let me see if I can control the exposure like I did with that Chinese camera. There you go. See, now I have more fine control. See, I can turn it dark or light as whatever I want to do. My desire in all these tests. Oops, you see that? We saw a UFO activity on the moon, guys. See, I noted something right there. That must be something either on the lens or on the camera. And again, this test here is with the isn't that beautiful? And let me do this. Let me try to adjust the focus with my motor controller. That's better. And let's go around the circumference like we normally do. And go up to the right side of the moon. Let me do this right now. Everything's on manual. I'm going to turn auto on. Excuse me. And then turn the brightness down. And restore to defaults. Defaults always seem to work best with this camera. A guy asked me a question on one of my, let me turn the contrast down just a dab. Just a dab on this thing, it screws. He asked me a question on my, he said, well, why didn't you make it out of Legos? Well, I could have, but, and I may eventually, but Mike wanted to do this, make it out of metal, so we did. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, what I'm going to do now, I want to go down here into the moon and put my autofocus back on. And try to put this on pause and see if I can put in a 5mm lens and do a shadow line analysis. Hang with me, guys. Okay, guys, we're going to do a 5mm. It'll get better in focus as we get down here on this shadow line. I have autofocus on. You'll see it jumping in and out. I have mouse control. Look at that Power Rocks. I do have zoom control. Zoom is not on. And let's just kind of pause here because it's an interesting picture and see what you can see. It's kind of wavy. I've been waiting on this moon. I've been right now it's about 5 minutes to 11. I had this thing sitting out there and everything, and the moon was so high I couldn't get it. And at 9 o'clock, so I had to pack it up. And then I looked out there about a half an hour ago, and lo and behold, that's a Clavis, by the way, Clavis, and it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 craters within a crater. Matter of fact, that's a good one. There's a pile of rocks there. Autofocus is on. Let me zoom in. I do have zoom control. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 clicks of zoom. And that's pretty good, filling up that whole front. The top of the crater to the bottom of the crater fills up the screen, so that's getting in there pretty close. Although I can't tell any better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I go too far and I get that tunneling effect, which old Bill doesn't like. So we're just gonna do this just on a 5. We're gonna go down, see what we can see. With a standard 5, and see what we can see with autofocus on. And see the little sparklies right there? That means I have to turn the contrast down just a dab. Everything else is automatic. Matter of fact, let me do this. Let me put the defaults back on, and instead of turning the contrast down, let me turn the brightness down. I'm not sure. I kind of like contrast. Let me turn the defaults back on, and let me turn the contrast down just I don't know, defaults. I'll use the brightness on that because I kind of like it to be contrasty. Autofocus is on, so now this is an interesting area right here. The trade-off with the when I do, with the screen, is you see me fighting with the contrast every once in a while on the way the sparklies come on the screen. But we're getting in there pretty close for you guys. I try to get out every night. My name is Bill Bryson. Let's just pause there for a minute. That's an amazing photo if you look at it. See the 1, 2, 3, you know, you got little, see at 3 frames a second, if I move the mouse real fast, then I have to be deliberate. Like I'm right there and I'm going to go up to this mouse field up here, see, but you can't sometimes see my mouse trail because I'm only doing 3 frames, 4 frames a second. But you can see those little, the detail that's coming up at this. There's granularity in these mountains, and autofocus is working. Isn't that an interesting page? Let's do this. That is worth trying to zoom in. See the way that crater, it looks like it's a mountain, and it landed right on top of a mountain. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to try to zoom into that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you can see quite a bit more detail. And you can see the kind of the foothills of the mountain. It's an incredible picture, guys. Hope you appreciate what I'm giving you. This is something that most people never see in a million years. A live video feed of a crater on top of a mountain on the moon. Absolutely stunning. Okay, let me go back. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, I went too far. When I go too far, I get that tunneling, which old Bill doesn't like. That's good enough. I tell you what I'm tempted to do. When I'm tempted to try that Barlow with this. I've never tried a Barlow with this lens and with this camera. I mean, it's not ideal conditions, but look, isn't that absolutely incredible? Beautiful, 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 guys. This picture right here is probably as close as you've ever seen with clarity and high definition on the moon. I mean, I'm striving to give you a better quality image, and I think I can. But I think that what I'm giving you here is so much better than you've ever seen before. In my mind, I know how I can do it even better. But until I do, this is going to have to be as good as it gets. And look at that mountain right there, that crater. Isn't that incredible? Matter of fact, I think that would be a good place right there uh, to put in that 2.5 Barlow, and let's see what we can see. So hang with me, guys. Hang with me. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I've, believe it or not, that crater I had you on the screen now is 2.5 times closer. I've not changed the zoom control. I'm going to try to back out on the zoom now. And see, it does give me more. See, you can see the tunneling right there. But as I go in, right there. Autofocus is on. I mean, that's a remarkable picture for a Barlow on. We're doing a Barlow. I'm going to go back up the shadow line now, if I can. We're doing a Barlow on the moon, a 2.5 Powermate Barlow with a 5mm lens, and I'm not sure. You see that right there? That has got to be on the lens or one of the lenses. It's probably on the Powermate. Probably needs clean, but I'm not gonna. Quite frankly, I'm running out of moon, and I want to go up this shadow line, and where it's going to be a lot clearer and a lot brighter, and see what I can see with this Barlow. Because sometimes this is where the magic occurs on the moon. Some of you guys see strange things and say, Bill, did you see that strange thing at such and such and such and such? And I'll go back and I'll look at them, and by damn, there it is. It's a strange deal. Matter of fact, let's do this. I remember that mountain range right there. Let's just look at it. This is the Alps. Now let's get back on track and let's go over here to our shadow line before I run out of the moon. This is actually this is absolutely incredible when you think about it. I'm giving you high definition probably closer than you've ever seen. I know it's not really super clear, but it's still pretty damn close. And let's just go up where we can get some light and head over to the shadow line. See, those of you that are new with me, when the shadow line is where the shadow of the moon and it seems like when you go to a shadow line, you have a lot of matter of fact, let's just see if we can camp out there for a minute. That looks like a tower, guys, to me. Autofocus is on. It's doing pretty good for a Barlow on the moon, guys. Pretty damn good. Some of you have been asking me what telescope power is this? Well, I'm not sure. I'm using a Celestron 8 Nexstar 8 SE. It's an 8-inch mirror, and with a 5mm lens, which is as close as I can get with a high quality lens, and on top of that a 2.5. That means it's 2.5 times the quality of the 5mm lens. It increases the focal length by 2.5 times, which is, so if the power of the 5mm lens on this machine was like 400 power, we're looking at 800, 900 power. But you know, but I don't know what it is. I probably need to sit down and figure all that out. But to me, that's not as important as just looking at the images and seeing what they. Matter of fact, let's show you this. Now there I'm running on a moon, but I want to do an experiment. Now I'm at half zoom. I'm going to zoom in on this now. See, I can actually zoom. And yeah, it's just not enough detail there to let the zoom really work. And I'll show you if I tunneled, like right there is now backing out. I go 1, 2. If I back out all the way on this, you'll see the tunneling right there. And I know that looks probably clear, but see, to me, I don't know. I like to fill this area up with things, you know what I mean? But that'll give you an idea. And see that, I'm not sure what that is. But this is a 5mm. I'll go down like this just so you can get a better idea. A 5mm Astro Tech lens, and on top of that a 2.5 Teleview Powermate lens. And I'm going to zoom in a minute, but I want to show you, let's just try to find something that's got some clarity, so when we zoom we can see some detail. Yeah. Okay, there's a good crater right there. See that crater? I can get it into it. That's that crater on the Alps. Let's zoom in now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. See, that's where I like to start. That's where I like to start. Say I fill the screen up and I have high definition and there's 100% on the screen. But then I can actually go in further. But when I do, you know, you can only do so much with this stuff, guys. And I mean, when you put the bigger lens on, then it looks better. I'm going to finish this up with the 25. So I'm going to be over. I don't like these things to be too long. So hang with me. I'm going to put a 25 in, and we're going to finish it up. Okay, guys, I'm back. A 25mm lens, and there's that crater we were just looking at. And that'll give you a. And we were also looking at this one, and I think we filled the screen up with both of them. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do another one complete pass with this thing. Give you an idea of what we were looking at. I am, matter of fact, let me turn the autofocus off and just fine tune it manually. And I got that JMI focuser on there. I'm turning the motor right now. Okay, let's just kind of go up the edge here and wrap this thing up. I'm not sure how this will turn out. This again is another experiment with my 1080 1080p. If I turn the brightness down, let me do this. Let me use the exposure again like I did before on this lens. There you go. So you can see when you get towards the edge of the moon, it's real bright, and the exposure control works best. Anyhow, that gives you a good survey. We did see a number of UFOs. I didn't see anything like I've seen some fantastic videos on YouTube where, you know, you can see them flying into craters and everything else. So there's our ferret. See the ferret? It's nice having a mouse. Again, I don't know how this is going to turn out. The one I did last night turned out pretty good, but it didn't have a mouse, and I figured a 1080p, if I can do one at 1080p with a mouse. But see, this is not the best that I can do. I think I can do much, much better than this. And I'm going to continue to do my testing. It's really a beautiful moon, though. I was telling you earlier that I had a difficult time getting the moon. The moon was up for about an hour, and quite frankly, I was not ready for it because I was doing some experiments in the house with this 1080p. And I let it go out there, and I went out to my observatory on my porch. That is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And I went on my porch, and the moon was up. I mean, I couldn't see it. It was way up over my roof. I mean, I waited too long. So then I shut everything down, tore it all apart, cussed. No, I don't cuss, guys. I just got a little exasperated. And there's another UFO. The temperature outside, by the way, is 38 degrees or so. It's really cold. There's no bugs, no birds, no nothing. Those are flying saucers on the moon for sure. And this is going to be a good place to shut it down. Hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll turn the exposure up a little bit. And I'll be trying to get at you tomorrow night. I don't know if I'll be able to because the weather report says there's going to be rain. But you never can tell. In the meantime, I'm going to be researching this camera and trying to find a absolutely best combination to make it work. The good thing is the Barlow does work with it. Works well. In the meantime, I wish you and yours clear skies, guys.